The video file the police showed me was 40 minutes long. I was inside that apartment for 12. I'm Vess. 3 files tonight, all from the same website, and one thing you should know going in. 2 of these are finished. One of them is still happening. The woman who sent it wrote to me again the morning I recorded this, and I'll get to that at the end. I was 26 and looking for a 1-bed under $1,400, which in my city meant refreshing listings 4 times a day and moving fast when something real appeared. This one appeared on a Tuesday. Photos were good, the price was $90 under what I expected, and the address was 6 blocks from my job. He called himself Mark. He said he managed the building for the owner, and he had a whole ring of keys with the little colored tags on them, and he was already inside with the lights on when I got there. That mattered to me at the time. A person who is standing inside an apartment with keys is a person who is supposed to be there. The place was furnished, which he explained straight away. Current tenant travels for work. She's out until the end of the month. She's asked him to show it early. There were photos on the shelf. There were plants that had been watered. I remember thinking she had good taste and wondering why she was leaving. He filmed the walkthrough. He held his phone up and said the owner likes a video record of every showing, and he walked backwards ahead of me the whole way. Kitchen, bathroom, bedroom, back to the front. I have watched a lot of apartment videos since then, and every single one of them is filmed pointing at the room. He asked the normal things. Was it just me or me and a partner? Did I work locally? What kind of hours? Did I have family in the city? And every one of those is a question a landlord asks, which is exactly why I answered all 4 of them without a pause. I didn't take it. The radiator situation was bad, and something about the whole thing sat wrong in a way I couldn't name. And I want to be clear that I didn't leave scared. I left mildly unimpressed. I took a place in a different neighborhood 9 days later, and I forgot about Mark completely. 4 months after that, 2 detectives asked me to come in and identify myself in a video. The apartment I'd toured had never been for rent. The woman who lived there was real. She was traveling, and she had no idea her home had been listed. Mark did contract work in the building and had keys to 11 units. There was a folder on his drive with 31 videos in it. Each one was a walkthrough. Each one was a different woman, a different apartment, sometimes a different city. They weren't named by address. They were named by first name. Mine was 40 minutes. I was in there for 12. The detective didn't offer to show me the other 28, and I have never once asked what's on them. I was 19 and doing gig work off Craigslist all that summer. Yard clearing, hauling, whatever paid same day. This one was $200 cash for 3 hours of loading a truck, starting at 11 at night, which is late, but not unheard of, because people book trucks by the day and use every hour they've paid for. The house was in a decent neighborhood, 60 years old, big yard. There was a rental truck already backed in when I got there, and a guy about 35 waiting on the porch with a hand truck. He said his name was Wes. He was in a good mood. He brought 2 energy drinks and gave me one before we started. The house was full. Not moving day full, living in it full. There was mail on the hall table. There was a bowl of fruit on the counter that was still good. Wes said his parents were downsizing, and he was doing the heavy work while they stayed at his sister's for the week. There were photos going all the way up the stairs. An older couple, 40 years of them, weddings and holidays and grandkids. And Wes went past those photos maybe 30 times that night and never once looked at them. And I noticed that at the time, and I decided it meant nothing. There was one room upstairs with a door shut and a newer handle on it than everything else in the house. I put my hand on it out of pure habit, going past with a box, and Wes said, from the bottom of the stairs, without looking up, "Don't bother with that one. Not sharp, just flat." We finished at 10 past 2. He paid me 220s, shook my hand, thanked me twice, and as I was walking to my car, he said, "You were never here." And he laughed. And I laughed, because a person laughs when someone else laughs. 16 days later, 2 detectives came to my apartment. The couple in the photographs were 71 and 68. They had been at their daughter's for a week. Everything they owned had gone into that truck. The reason the detectives found me first is that Wes had photographed me. From behind, in the hallway, carrying a box, time-stamped. He took it about an hour into the job while I was working. It was in a folder with 11 others. 11 other guys, 11 other hallways, 11 other houses. All of us photographed from behind while we worked. He wasn't collecting souvenirs. He was collecting somebody to hand over if a job ever went wrong. They never found Wes. The name was fake, the truck was rented on a stolen card, the phone was gone. They did open the room upstairs. I asked the detective what was in it, and he said, honestly, nothing you need. That was 6 years ago, and I have never taken a job off that website again. 2 down. The one that's still running is the one that's left. I'm Vess. Address is below. I read everything, I change every name. Subscribe, and the next file finds you. This one came in as 4 emails over 5 weeks. The 4th arrived while I was recording. The first man knocked on a Saturday morning and said he was there for the dresser. I told him I didn't have a dresser. He turned his phone around and showed me a Craigslist listing with my address on it and photographs of my street and 1 line of text underneath. Free furniture. Everything must go. Doors open. Come anytime. I hadn't posted it. It had been up for 2 days, and it had my house number, my street, and a photo of my front door taken from the sidewalk in daylight. It did not have my name, and it did not have my phone number, which I understood much later was deliberate, because a phone number would have let people check. 9 people came that weekend. 2 on Sunday before 8 in the morning. A man with 2 kids in the car who apologized so much I felt worse for him than for me. I flagged the post and it came down, and I thought that was the end of it, and it was, for 6 days. Then it went back up. Same address, new account, and 1 new line. Single woman moving out, everything goes, just let yourself in. I want you to sit with what that sentence does. It isn't a threat to me. It's an instruction to strangers. And it works. Because the next man who came tried the handle before he knocked. He wasn't a bad person. He'd read a sign that told him it was fine. Police took it seriously and could do almost nothing. New account each time, public Wi-Fi, no messages sent to me, no threats, nothing addressed to me at all. Whoever it was never once contacted me directly. Every word they wrote was written to other people about my house. It happened 14 times over 3 months, and I kept them all. And you can watch it get more specific. Free furniture, then free furniture single woman, then everything goes, doors open. Then, in October, a line about the best times to come by. The times were my work hours. Whoever was writing these knew when the house was empty, and then made sure to tell people that it wasn't. So, I moved. In November, 500 miles, new city, no forwarding address on anything public, new number, everything locked down. My family thought it was an overreaction. I let them think that, because I didn't want to explain it again. Her 4th email came in the morning I was recording this. 6 weeks in the new place. It's a listing with her new address on it. Different city, different account. Same 3 words at the end of the text. The photograph of her new front door was taken from the sidewalk in daylight, from the same distance and the same angle as the first one. She sent me both. You can put them side by side. Somebody walked past her old house to take one, and then, 500 miles away, walked past her new one. A man with a ring of keys, a man with a hand truck, and a person who never once had to come to the door because they could simply write an address down in public and let strangers do the arriving. Never let it be your address. Submissions are below. I'm Vess. The dash cam is back on my desk. I didn't go and get it. And the door's been shut since Tuesday.